Hi there, welcome back to the Isle. In the last video, we explored the sudden unexpected activation of human facilities all across the island. Without warning, these facilities started broadcasting Morse code distress calls. On top of that, we explored a new secretly added cave, which many of you theorized was the perfect fit for cannibals and tribals. And in general, the creation of caves may signify something more sinister to come in the future. I think I've found something that appears to support the theory of caves and cannibals and tribals and all of that fun stuff that I saw in the comment section of the last video. And with the track record of the Isle developers adding things to the game file sneakily months or if not years before they're added to the actual game, I think it's entirely possible what this is going to lead into could be fairly big in the future. The new skin selection and nesting system is also fast approaching, with the developers teasing sneak peeks of courting animations and dinosaurs using the new skin system. I wanted to show you this as well. I was playing the Isle and I noticed that I could hear something strange in the background of this area. If you just listen. You clearly hear bubbling and almost like lava, so I followed the sound. The sound led me to this, some tribal paintings and a rock kind of just blocking off in a weird section. I mean, I can see that the ground underneath doesn't really fit it. I thought it was weird. So I came back with spectator mode because I was curious, hey, what's behind door number 1? Seeing as we found a cave in the last video. I entered and I found a tar pit cave, or what I would call a dungeon in the Isle. That's my interpretation of it, at least. And the tar pit, actually, the tar has animations now. You can see bubbles and it's moving. It's kind of cool. I can't bring the Dinosaurs in here because it's too big. I'll try with the Utahraptor in a moment, but I mean, I thought this was kind of cool. So I thought, well, how big is this cave then? Because I know they were working on caves a while ago. And again, ignore this stuff here because, well, one, this looks like it's open right now, but it's not. It's just a single-sided texture on a material. I don't think anything would happen if you fell on the tar inside this, just because there's nothing underneath it. It just looks like it's a flat texture kind of moving. But regardless, you enter in as far as here. I wonder if I can teleport in here now. Aha, I can teleport in here. Okay, so you enter in as far as this, and I mean, there's a rock right there blocking you off, and there's a rock right there. Let me be clear. The rocks don't matter. You can go through them, and it leads to an even bigger section with another tribal marking. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the original concept art to try and help us decode this a little bit, and this one, you visually you can't tell what it is, unlike this concept here, where you can tell, hey, a Hyperspinosaurus is there, oh, I see Titanoboa, so on and so forth. Visually, you can decode that, but this, you can't, so I have no clue what this one means. All we do know is that this is something left behind by the tribe. And I want to jump into tribals for a second because they're linked with cannibals. And when we think tribals, or I say tribals, even I'm guilty of thinking, oh, kind of like Native Americans, and how they survive off the land, so on and so forth. You think of feather headdresses and all of that fun stuff. In my mind, I think more of a culture and lifestyle than I do an actual being. But I want to try and clear the air a little bit on this because I have a wonderful piece from Miss Catbug, which perfectly explains the misconception versus reality of a tribal and the cannibal, obviously, assuming that this is still canon because this is a couple years old.
Are not two different things. They are not unique. Your tribals are actually these fucks. These big bastards on the left. You are not playing as the Mayan style boys. You aren't playing as fucking Apocalypto or Stomping Land ripoffs. You're playing as these horrifying freaks of fucking nature that are, for the most part, relatively human looking. But the tribals and the cannibals are the same thing. I have referred to the creatures on the right-hand side as cannibals for a very, 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 very long time for you all to assume a certain method of unlocking that will never, ever, ever happen.
Some of you probably already knew this information, but I think it's important enough to repeat. On the right is the cannibal. On the left is the tribal. The concept art to the very far left, it appears at one point in time they wanted to make normal native tribals, you know, doing all that stuff, and somehow they would maybe mutate into what you see, which is basically an ogre, and then that would move into becoming a cannibal. But now obviously that was changed, so the ogre-looking concept is now the tribal, and then that basically evolves into the cannibal. Again, assuming all of this is still canon and the way they want to take things. Which I think they do want to go that route because they did remake the Cannibal. This is the new Cannibal compared to what we had seen previously. This all ties in because when we see caves like this and we see what's called tribal markings, tribal paintings, well, it indirectly and directly references the tribal that we've been seeing, which is a grotesque monster, and by proxy, the cannibal. Therefore, it's not unreasonable to believe that when you look at these cave systems and the new tribal markings that are being put inside them, the developers aren't just looking at it like, oh, hey, we can put cool artwork here and make it mysterious. They're also taking into consideration, well, tribals are leaving these behind, and by proxy, that also insinuates cannibals. And then it kind of makes sense why these paintings are moderately higher than what a normal human would leave them at, given that these creatures are taller than the normal human you would find in-game, because something much taller than a human is leaving them behind. I imagine in the future this will be removed, and then you have an actual hazard of falling into a tar pit, and you got to cross using that log there, which is going to be kind of cool, but there's no other tribal images, and besides that, I mean, this is as far as the tar pit cave goes, or the dungeon, or whatever you want to call it. Now, I am curious what will happen with my Dino if I fall in a tar pit. We have a little bit of tar right here. I imagine it does nothing. Like we just kind of stand on it. We don't even slowly fall into it or sink or anything. We kind of just exist on top of the tar for now. But it will be a serious hazard in the future, I'm sure. You don't want to step in tar. If you have any idea of what these images might actually mean within the theory and lore of the Isle, let me know. I don't really understand what this would have for any significance. All right, that's tribals, cannibals, the caves, all of that stuff in a nutshell. You guys put me down a rabbit hole because of your comments, and well, I started thinking and I wanted to jump into this stuff because I thought it'd be kind of cool, and hopefully that answers some of the questions and maybe even substantiates some of the claims in the comments of the last video. Whether you call them cannibal caves, tribal caves, or just caves, doesn't really matter. They're gonna be cool. And now we get to jump into some very exclusive footage from Dondi himself. Surprisingly, he went live on Twitch to show us some of the new mechanics coming to the game in a future update. And judging from what we could see, a future update is gonna be a fairly soon future update. This is the new skin system for the Isle, which is gorgeous. A couple concepts were teased. I need to make it clear with you now, and it is also explained in the stream itself, that the vibrant colors you see, a lot of these won't be present in the game. They had neon-like colors kept there for data and analysis and stuff to see just how the skin system worked and how it performed, but generally I would expect to see a duller version of these colors. Maybe keep the blues as vibrant as they are, and maybe like the reds and stuff, but generally speaking, these colors are a little bit more vibrant and neon-ish than what we're gonna see for the final product. Nonetheless, I am really excited to see the skin system, and it is much further ahead than I actually thought it was. Okay, let's see what Dondi himself has to say about this. There's a lot of different things in these clips that I'm going to go down through, and I'll be iterating a little bit in between them. And I apologize for the very disruptive watermark I put on this video. I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of who the actual owner of this footage was.
We should probably clarify before you show this off. Some of the available color selection you see may not be, available when this actually gets out to you guys, because it's all still in testing, so everything's subject to change.
Okay, let me make the non-corporate answer. I had them put ridiculous, ugly colors in here because I needed to test what would happen with the brightness and saturation. We had like 8 different methods on how we could allow you to modify something. So I said, put in gross colors, it's fine. So we just slapped a bunch of swatches in there. These are not happening. You're not getting purple Utah, so relax. Moon the Camarasaurus stays on YouTube and dies on YouTube. There, see? Is that better? I think they got that. I understand that one.
What was all the point of our PR training if you're just going to do that every time?
Because that's for when I'm not there. Alright.
Gotcha.
Let's see what weird-looking creature we can make.
I was lucky enough to speak with Punch Packet, who was a developer for the Isle, and they also confirmed that the neon-esque type colors that are there are basically just there for test server data. That's it. But he also explained and told us that even though it might not make it in this initial patch, there will be multiple patterns you will be able to unlock simply by playing the game and doing things. I don't know exactly what he means by doing things, but at the very least, playing the game will give you access to more and more exclusive patterns. I would hope there's like a very rare exclusive pattern by quote-unquote doing things.
I'm honestly not a skin person. I haven't even screwed around with these. I've been setting up the other Utah. Actually, you know what? I could show them the other Utah from Fredward.
Yeah, do that.
The other Utah?
Yeah. Well, the like pattern when you're grown.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like a.
No. I get you. I was a little confused by the wording.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong.
So far, I see a lot of similarity between the legacy version of the skin system we're seeing now with a little bit more diversity. There's a couple extra shaders, it appears.
And then we can go as the galley. Oh, we'll do the Serrato. Oh, it turns out that it's a Hipsy. I guess you guys shouldn't have worried about what you saw on the menu and then start parroting what you thought was being worked on and what wasn't.
I will take a moment here and confirm the Serrato is actually in the game
bright side,
files.
Utah Raptor looks really, really good on the Hipsy.
Just to clear this up a little bit, because it might be confusing, what he's done is he took the pattern from one creature and just swapped to another, and it automatically applied to the new creature he is playing. That's the same as if you were in Legacy, you were a creature, and then you swap in the database. You keep the pattern.
Oh, I wonder, can I do the thing here? Is it, which one is it? Is it one over? Might be one over. I don't remember where I am. Oh, now I do. Right here. Oh, I can. Perfect.
Human structures look great. Wow, I wish they had these in already. These look really good on the inside.
Galley, joke's on you. Still a Hipsy.
Unfortunately, I can't confirm if the galley is there. Memory is kind of failing me on that one. I don't think the galley is actually in the game files, but if it is, I'll leave an image right here proving that if it is or not. You know, whatever, basically.
Oh no, Troodon? Totally a Troodon. Still a Troodon. Definitely a thing.
Troodon is creepy as hell. Just to be clear, very, very creepy. I was hunted by one.
Hippity hops.
I made a video a while ago, and a Troodon was hunting me and my friends, funny enough, and messing with us, and it is the most terrifying experience. Like, the sounds this thing makes, oh.
Could do this one, though. Look at that. Utah Raptor colors don't look half bad on him either. But anyway.
So I'm very surprised by this because I know they had the T-Rex in the files as an AI creature. You know, I've never actually seen a developer playing the T-Rex in Evrima, but here clearly it has suddenly been set up as a selectable playable creature. Now, if memory serves me correctly, I think they said that the T-Rex will no longer be a playable creature within the Isle, but them having it set up to be a playable creature doesn't really make... maybe I'm behind on my information for this one and they've changed their mind, or maybe I was entirely wrong. I don't know, but either I want to see the T-Rex. I want to play the T-Rex. It's going to be so damn cool to fight a Dinosaurs as a T-Rex.
Any plans for good old T-Rex? Oh god. I can't say anything about the T-Rex. I can't be trusted to talk about the T-Rex. I will be over here.
Clearly, they have some alternative plans for the T-Rex than what they had originally planned. If Dondi doesn't want to just say, hey, yeah, insert what we told everyone in the beginning, and suddenly he doesn't want to talk about it because he doesn't trust himself to talk about it. I think the T-Rex has some bigger plans, and I think they possibly might be listening to the community and the community feedback. I know that's going to be important in their decisions, so maybe, just maybe, something big is going to happen?
Giga is not being left behind. Giga is not going to be just forgotten because you've only seen T-Rex and Spinosaurus. Do not have that notion. Let that die now.
Wasn't Giga like the last one modeled though?
That's because we tried something with Giga that is only found in the Giga and the Spino rigs of the old game.
Of course, the Giganotosaurus is going to be a creature that is used within Evrima. They modeled a brand new Giga model and spent endless hours creating this creature. Like, of course, they're going to have the Giga in here, regardless if they talk about it or not. It shouldn't, unless they outright say, yeah, we're not doing anything with it. It's safe to assume, because they made the model, they're going to use it.
Oh, God. Oh, beautiful new pretty clouds. Oh, God, rays from the clouds. I'm not going to show them dinosaurs flying through the clouds, though. They don't deserve that. Anyway, get back to this lighting.
So this was an interesting one, because he looks at the clouds, and the clouds are very, very nice looking. But on top of that, he said, I'm not going to fly through the clouds. So what would that actually look like if possibly we could do that in the Isle, and they had the new cloud system? I would imagine it would look very similar to a game I played a while ago called Draconia. See, Draconia has an advantage with clouds because they're using a newer version of a game engine that was released. I believe the Isle is created on Unreal Engine 4, and Draconia was created using Unreal Engine 5. Unreal Engine 5 has something called Fortnite Clouds, which is basically something that comes stock in the software where it creates these gorgeous, fluffy, lovely looking clouds, so on and so forth. And I think they're beautiful, personally. They're not really quite set up correctly in Draconia because you can see like little glitching and ghosting and stuff, but generally speaking, they are very gorgeous if they are set up correctly. I would love to see clouds like this in the Isle. It would be incredible, assuming a Pteranodon could actually fly up high enough into the sky. I think a Pteranodon could fly like 15,000 feet in the air or something, and your lowest clouds start at like 7,000 feet or something like that, I think. I could be wrong, but regardless, we would love to see this in the Isle. Unfortunately...
Relax, guys. Your dinosaurs can't reach the clouds. I was just messing with you. There's nothing there to look into. Not that serious. You would constitute this as a night similar to True Sky. It's very much the night that I had pretty much set up in the original Redwoods. There.
The Northern Lights are gorgeous, especially in this new system they have with clouds, so on and so forth. It is really good looking. There's not much more to say about it.